Hi, yeah, I'm Andrew Craske. I'm Head of Communications at Screen Yorkshire. And I'm here to talk about the Yorkshire Content Fund, our new investment fund which we launched in February. Just a bit of background about who we are. We were a regional screen agency for nearly the last 10 years. We're an England-wide network with the aim of supporting and growing film, TV, particularly focused on film and TV initially, and then moved more to cover digital and games over the years. We had a £10.2 million investment programme between 2006 and 2010, and then post-election there was lots of change, which Jim from Creative England touched on before. So both our main funders, Film Council and Yorkshire Forward, were abolished. Regional screen agencies were abolished. But there were independent organisations, so some folded into Creative England, some have carried on and tried to find their own way through things, us being one of them. And then early this year we launched our new fund. I was asked to just touch on some of the challenges and opportunities we've found over the years regionally, but I suppose quite a few of these also apply nationally as well within this sector. Yorkshire is dominated by micro SMEs. There's a lack of, or there's not enough companies of scale and significance. You know, we have True North in TV, Warp in film, some big games companies and a lot of big digital agencies, but I don't think we have enough overall. I think business support over the years maybe has been confused for businesses. There's been a variety of support offered, but not very clear enough, and access to markets and finance is still problematic, well, even more so with finance given the last few years. Hopefully we can address part of that with our new fund. So here's the Opportunities Yorkshire Content Fund, which I'll talk about in a minute. Media City obviously is a big opportunity. There's some big commissioning departments over there from the BBC, Children's, Future Media Technologies. We're trying to reach out to companies in the north and commission work from regional companies. And then obviously there's a lot of new business models still around the app market, and for games in particular the digital distribution platforms. So about our new fund then, it's 15 million, well, we have to describe it as a £15 million co-investment fund. We've actually only got £7.5 million of European regional development funding, which will then be matched on a project-by-project basis with private investment. And our investment has to be on identical terms for recoupment with that private money. Because of the nature of the money it's from the financial engineering pot and an access to finance products, so it can't be seen to undercut the market for finance. So that's quite different to some of the funds we've had previously for production, which were more what's called soft money, I suppose, and would be on a par with, say, the BFI money in a film or what was the Film Council. We can invest up to €1.5 million per project. So one of the advantages of this fund compared to previous funds we have, it's a lot more flexible. We can invest a lot more, and it's project finance. So we can't invest in the company; it's in a specific project. So a film, a game, a TV series, a piece of digital content. But within that, it's fairly flexible. And one of the things is that we can also invest, as long as some private money is doing exactly the same thing, we could invest in a project at different levels. So for example, with a film we could cash flow the tax credit, we could put some gap finance in, and then we could also put some equity, as long as some private money is doing exactly the same thing at each level. It's available for content production across film, TV, games and digital, including apps, mobile, tablet, web, connected TV, and in a way, if it's a digital content, it could also be for content out of the traditional entertainment sectors, possibly. We're trying to make this fund as flexible as possible and as open to as many people as possible. It's an evergreen fund, so it needs to make a commercial return to replenish the fund, and this is for, by the nature that we're matching private investment, obviously private money is only going to invest to try and make a return, so that sort of goes hand in hand with it. But also, as EU money dries up and moves to Eastern Europe, we obviously want to make sure this fund continues to last for a few more years, and we replenish the fund in order to continue to invest after this initial pot of 7.5 million runs out. So we've got to match private finance. There can be public finance within the project. So again, if it was a film, there could be BFI money in there. Could be Film 4, BBC Films is classed as public money. There could be money in that project, but that can't be the match finance. And that's the same across TV, digital, and the other sectors. So what sort of companies and projects will we invest in? The companies have got to be based in Yorkshire and Humber. The companies can be either based in Yorkshire and Humber, it can be companies looking to establish a base within the region, or it could be companies looking to co-produce with a Yorkshire company. So it could be companies who are developing their own IP, or companies with a license to exploit IP. So for example, if they've got a license to exploit some content around a cartoon or film, which then they could come to us for the fund, and that could be the same if a company, in a national company, had that license and wanted to work with a Yorkshire company who they knew, they could also apply for the fund, as long as there's a certain amount of economic activity taking place within the region. Or it could be new startups who've tested a prototype and want to take it to the next level in terms of commercialising it. And obviously, cross-platform, but digital content overall is an important area for the fund. There's some very strong digital businesses in the region, and we want to try new things and support those businesses as much as possible.